Okay, MENOFIT, it's day 10. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit better about yourself? Are you feeling fitter, stronger, leaner, still literally on it with what you're eating? How is your snacking? How are your nighttime nibbles? Have you managed to change some habits? Maybe put into place some practices to help you manage your stress? And maybe perhaps going to sleep a little bit earlier, regulating your wake up time. Let me know. I'd love to know your feedback on whether the program so far has helped you, whether you're feeling positive, in a better mindset. And I'd love for us to come together again in one of my Meno hubs next year. So this is going to grow. You guys have been privileged to be the first on my MENOFIT. I'd love you to talk to your friends about it. I'd definitely like to get your feedback on how you feel about the program and whether there's anything that you want to bring back to me to let me know to maybe include next time, or anything that you think will be helpful, constructive feedback. So today I'm just going to give you that blueprint of maintaining weight loss for the longevity, for the long term, for beyond this 14 days. And obviously there will be times of the year where this all gets a little bit more tricky, whether it's a load of celebrations close together, whether it's a Christmas time of the year, whether it's a holiday time of year. All of these things have a little bit of a distraction mode for you. This is life, so for the most part, what you want to be looking at is being in a calorie deficit, focusing on really healthy, balanced plates of food. So, we're not always going to hit our targets. We're not going to be in a calorie deficit every single day. What I would challenge you to do and encourage you to do is just for the next few days to the end of the program, have a go maybe at tracking your calories. Now, it's not something I would say that you want to do long term. It's not something to get in the habit of doing. But if you maybe haven't quite achieved what you wanted to achieve, maybe there's still some little extra tweaking here and there. So maybe just tracking your calories for the next few days. Maybe just using your scales to weigh out certain portions of things like your porridge, like your granola, and just being aware of the quantity of food that you are eating in a day, and not just really over a day, but over the period of a week. So for the longevity, we're never going to always live like angels. We're never going to not focus on, we're going to have days where we don't focus on our food, where we don't focus on ourselves. But try not to let that take you on a slippery slope. It is very easy to, we all tend to follow this pattern of, right, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to eat well. I'm gonna not drink alcohol. I'm not gonna have any snacks. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Firstly, try and always look at things from a positive point of view. So don't necessarily think about what you're not gonna do, what you're gonna cut out, what you're gonna deprive yourself of, but focus on what you're going to do instead to really create that positivity around your thinking. So number one is that if you get going on Monday, and Monday's a great day, it all falls into place, nothing trips you up and gives you that sort of moment of weakness, great. And then Tuesday, something might pop in and you have a slice of cake with your friend who's your bad fairy, and then you put yourself into a negative landslide. Try to come away from that way of thinking. So if you have a little hiccup, that's fine, and it's not a bad thing. I never want you to demonize food. So that is key for success. Never demonize food. We all have little guilty pleasures. Enjoy them, but then go back to eating healthily, try to rein in the snacks, try to avoid the nighttime nibbles, and lower your alcohol consumption. And those things will definitely have an impact on your waistline. So over the 10 days so far and going forwards, I will have given you all of the things that you need to know, what nutrients you need as a menopausal woman, and not really just as a menopausal woman, but everybody. This is good for everybody. So if you can get the whole family practicing, so start your week on a positive front. Think about including different cuts of meat, different types of fish. If you're veggie, try to eat from the different types of plant sources that you can. I don't know whether you enjoy the meat replacements, but maybe try some of those, or you might find that those actually don't float your boat and you want to get your protein and get your nutrients from just literally vegetables, legumes, and all of those things. So think about having a structure to your week, always planning. That is the key. So plan your meals for the rest of the week, know what snacks you've got in the house, and just put all of that stuff away from your eyes that's tempting you. So think about making sure that biscuit tins or cookie jars aren't on show. Rearrange your fridge so that your tempting treats are out of your eye line, that when you open the fridge door you see your healthy food in front of you, and then try to keep in that calorie deficit. If you feel yourself going a little bit off the track, then maybe just for a couple of days refocus, bring it in half the week, track, and then get yourself back on with remembering what portion sizes you need, and also making sure you eat from that delicious rainbow of foods. So it's keeping it realistic. Now, if you can do that for 80% of the time, then you're winning, and then you can afford that little bit of wiggle room, whether it's at the weekend, whether you've got an event coming up, a birthday celebration. You can absolutely enjoy that time without any guilt attached to it. Okay, so structure to the week, planning, making sure that you practice slow and mindful eating. Okay, so this is another good way if you're not tracking of keeping your portions in control. So you might not necessarily eat the entire portion that you've served yourself up on the plate. If you can practice that slow, mindful, chewing your food and being really not distracted with devices, that will help you stay on track. So all of these things. And be true to yourself. Don't just eat it because someone else is eating it. If you don't want to have that cake, don't have it. Your friend might thank you for it at the end of the day. So, for the most part, it just boils down to sensible approach, really basic, common sense nutrition. So if you can practice that on the most part, then you can afford that little bit of wiggle room when you do have those moments or those events coming up. Okay, so I would encourage you to just track for the next few days. So if you Google your TDEE, now if you do that and you think, do you know what, that's a little bit low, that's absolutely fine. If you know that's not realistic for you, if you're actually a little bit more, we've all got different metabolic rates, so it's very difficult to be 100%. It is a guideline. That is what your body will just need to move around, get up out of bed to digest the food, to get the blood circulating around the body. Okay, that's not to say that you've got to come in even under that. If you know that's going to be a struggle, and you need to just set your goal a little bit higher, that's absolutely fine. If you're not really sure, have a chat with me and we will get to a decent number for you. There are lots of you'll find lots of different calculators on the internet for working out your calories, but it's very difficult. It depends on your metabolic, how much muscle mass you have, how active you are. So it is very difficult to calculate it. But you can use that calculator as a general idea. It gives you something to start with. You might need to add a couple of hundred to it. You might need to stick with what it says. So hopefully that's given you some tools for success. This is nothing different to what I've already talked to you about. It's just a little bit of a recap on your blueprint for longevity. Okay, so keep practicing this, keep your weeks planned, eat from an array of different foods, different proteins, different vegetables, keep it interesting, Google different recipes. You know, one of the things I tend to do sometimes, we all lose, like, we get boredom, don't we? And we lose inspiration with food. So just putting some ingredients in to Google and just seeing what it comes up with recipes, and then know how to maybe, you know, change that recipe to make it more healthy for you if necessary. Okay, guys, so enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, and let me know how you're getting on, and are you going to track for just 4 days just to see whether you can just rein in that a little bit if you feel you need to. If you think you're winning, that's all good. Just stay with what you're doing. All right, team, see you soon.